you will recognize that your purpose isn't out there in the distance waiting for you to become someone else. It's already within you, inviting you to accept who you are and to enjoy being you along the way. And you are not behind. You are not broken. You are exactly who you are in this moment at this time. You have not missed the bus. You haven't screwed up. If you are here and you are sucking oxygen, you are absolutely on your path to that purpose of self-acceptance.
Well, welcome to Intuition, Your Success Compass. I'm Vicki Baird, your host and wisdom-led mindset coach. This podcast is where intuition meets strategy and mindset meets meaning. I help smart, successful women stop overthinking and start trusting their inner wisdom, because your clarity, confidence, and next level life are already within you. With over 2 decades of coaching experience, a knack for systems, and a great gift for spotting what's off, be it a saboteur thought or an out of alignment choice, I'm here to help you connect your brilliant brain with your soul's knowing. You'll get grounded insights, a little humor, and real life tools to create change that actually sticks. Like your go-to morning brew, unfamiliar grounding, and the nudge you didn't know you needed. And I love coffee, so that works too. Well, hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if you listened to a couple podcasts ago, I did a week in the life of Vicki Baird. You got the behind the scenes look and wow, wasn't it exciting? Not really. It is to me, but I appreciate the request and the interest, I guess, in what it means to walk around in my life as an intuitive coach. And it's pretty fun. And I didn't talk about all the messages that come in, but the fundamentals of day-to-day stuff. So I thought a good follow-up would be to cover that subject of something that comes up all the time with clients, and that's purpose. Let me start with a little bit of a confession. I used to completely poo-poo the idea of finding your purpose or living in purpose. I feel like I did that because I was never someone who felt a need to have a purpose. And in the way that we do in ignorance or just not there yet, I didn't really understand what it could be like to have that purpose that drives you from within. Mine is much more subtle, so I didn't really get it. And that wasn't cool. I was judging other people. But what I've also come to know over the years of, thousands of coaching sessions and intuitive readings later, that it's really not a full, great, big life mission purpose that we're here to do or have. It's that we all have the same purpose, and that's to arrive in self-acceptance, but we also have a completely different path to get there. And I've said this many times over the years. So why my brain couldn't let in the fact that, well, somebody could be absolutely driven. Like some of these people that, oh my goodness, they run the food banks or they run support services for, women who have been through traumatic events, or students and making sure they have everything they need, or the horse sanctuary that I volunteer at. I mean, heck, her book is called In Search of Purpose. So yes, it has influenced me a little bit, because for a while I thought when someone says, I don't know what my purpose is, they were feeling the pressure of this social media world, and that you have to have a purpose. You have to know what you want to do from the time you're 6 years old. It's just not life for the majority of us. However, we got to leave room for the fact that it is that for some people, and we can lean into that and we can be inspired by it, but we also don't have to measure ourselves from that. So what I have learned is that purpose
isn't about your career or some mystical calling. It's about who you are becoming. It is absolutely the journey or the path of learning to accept yourself fully and without apology, and to be in that self-surety. And for me, I know then that my purpose is helping people understand that when we blend the soul with the brain, you have not only the merging that we agreed to come into lifetime after lifetime, but you also have the joy that can be accomplished in being human. So while maybe I just called it something different, it was my desire, it was my joy. Why not call it a purpose? So as I let my intuition guide me while also honoring my amazing system, logic, learning, neuroplasticity, I get to be in what some would say is my purpose. The difference is I don't feel an obligation. Like when I feel that some people say, I have this purpose I must fulfill, it almost feels to me like they're not feeling a worthiness within themselves if they don't fulfill that purpose. So call it semantics or whatever you like, understanding that you are amazing and you are here for the same purpose that all of us are, self-acceptance, then there might be something that is a driving force within you, or a love, or something that you just get so excited about. I would say to someone if they don't know what their purpose is, I have asked without saying, don't worry about that. We're all here for the same thing. And leaving it then at that, I would say to them, well, what is it that you can talk about until you're blue in the face? What can you talk about even if other people don't want to talk about? And what is that? Well, there's your alignment. There's your light up. There is your offer to the universe, to the world, to the people, to yourself. So if you've been disconnected from that, I can completely understand the question of, well, what's my purpose? I am always going to say to be the amazing being you already are. Therefore, you have met your purpose. It's just that your purpose is going to keep expanding. And that expansion is exactly why we're here as humans. So, our saboteurs, our critics don't always love the fact that, okay, fine, we're all here for our own self-acceptance. How do I get to self-acceptance? Well, you have to not like yourself sometimes. You have to bump up against your own limitations. You have to learn that you screwed that thing up over there and you got to go back and figure it out. Our saboteurs don't love the conversation because they want you to believe your purpose is out there somewhere and you are failing for not having figured out what your purpose is. Especially if people are around you are saying, well, I know what my purpose is. I know why I get up every morning. I know what I am doing. Fabulous. Some people knew at 5 years old that they wanted to be a lawyer. How wonderful for them. We could say that was part of their soul's journey too. So with this critic in your head and the part of your left brain wanting you to believe that happiness is always beyond your hand somewhere, or you're not doing enough to achieve it if you don't know what your purpose is, it takes considerable self-awareness, but being able to say, I don't think that's true. I just haven't figured out what it is yet. And maybe I croak not knowing what it is. And in my life review, I realized that I was always kind to every cat that I came about. And maybe that was why you were here, to learn that. So the judge in our heads, the critic, will say, you should have figured it out by now. That's what I hear the most because I tend to work with women who are mid 40s to late 50s. Inevitably, in a conversation, I will hear, well, shouldn't I know this by now? No, no, no timelines. And that's the judge saying, you should have figured this out by now. You've been here and alive for this many years. What have you been doing? Sitting on the couch eating bonbons? No, you've been living. And figured it out is just so diminutive. It's like you stink. You should know trigonometry and you're just doing basic math. Whereas, like the hyperachiever, which is one of my prominent ones, says, do more, be more, and then you'll be worthy. And thankfully, I recognized a few years ago that voice, and I still have conversations with it. I readily admit that I'm going to right up until I croak because that's part of having a brain. But it no longer says do more to be more. Now it says, you want to do more? Okay, I'll do more because there's a joy there for me. I People with like myself with hyperachiever, we just tend to have a lot of energy and that's fun. It's a good thing. I want to learn so much, but it's no longer dependent on my worthiness because the idea around do I have a purpose or don't I have a purpose? I still exist was a conversation I had with myself years ago. And it actually made me stop looking for my purpose, which made me a lot happier. And I could say when I stopped struggling and stopped fighting for what was an unconscious awareness that I wanted to feel valid or that I was here for a reason, rather than accept what I knew. I just knew at my wise wisdom, old intuitive self that no, we're actually here to love. We're here to learn about self acceptance. That's pretty much all there is. And then all these other layers are just the human experience. So then the avoider may say, just stay distracted. Go ahead and binge another series or get involved in that drama that's going on at work rather than focus on anything because purpose is overwhelming anyway. You've seen people who are living their purpose. They're burnt out. They're exhausted. They smile on the outside, but they're crying on the inside. And while having met a few people who are definitely fully aligned and even enmeshed with their purpose, sure, there are days like that. Of course there are. But they're also so filled with the joy of what they're involved in that it gets them up the next morning. So the avoider saying purpose is overwhelming is a way, I think, to keep us from expanding and learning just how amazing we are. But your wisdom, that wise, intuitive side of your brain, the right brain, says, you know what? You're doing just fine. And let's focus on what brings you alive, what brings you joy, and what expands within you when you think of this subject. And you may not know, again, you may not know what that is. You may be sitting there twiddling your thumbs thinking, I have no idea what this is. But you have to be willing to ask yourself questions. And now I'm saying if we take the pressure off the word purpose and we have it be what lights me up, what's my joy, what makes me want to go research and learn something. Who's gotten into canning this year? Who did gardens last year? Raising my hand over here because it was just that thing of the season. And it's, well, not just the gardening season, but the learning season and the soul season. And that's the voice I want you to amplify. I want you to be able to catch the voice that says, well, you suck because you haven't figured out your purpose. And instead, pause it and say, thank you. Hey, thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate you. And I'm in my research mode right now. I am going to be curious and I'm going to pay attention to what works for me and what doesn't work for me and what interests me and what bores me to tears. What is it? You could do this in your closet. It's occurring to me right now that this is something I've been doing. I've been wearing every pair of leggings that I have in my drawer, not just because I want to go back to the same ones that I know are comfortable. I've been wearing all of them. And the ones that I'm like, these are not comfortable, immediately get donated. Same with socks, same with shirts. I'm working my way through my closet as a way to minimize, but also so that when I'm wearing something, whatever I'm wearing, I feel completely comfortable in it and it doesn't bug me. And I'm not keeping it just because I might have spent $40 on that sweatshirt and I don't want to see that money go to waste. Well, somebody else might absolutely love it. So, whatever you're doing in your world, what's something you do that brings you alive? Especially if it's one small thing. Is it that teacup? Is it a special kind of tea? Is it a specific kind of candle that you burn? Is it the walk you take and the people that you meet along the way? Because that's purpose in motion. If you're focused on being present, you are purposeful. You are full of purpose and you are bringing an energy to this world that has been in short supply. And most importantly, when you're present, you're lining up with that part of you that came in on a soul level to really experience every little bit of this, you know, chocolate box of life that we're living. So if you're feeling connected and aligned, living your purpose doesn't have to be profound. Some days mine is bringing humor to the world, pointing out something that I see as delightful and others might see as ridiculous. It might be helping my nervous rescue of a dog believe in himself a little bit more because he remembered a command that we're working on, or he walked without pulling me down the street. It may be helping a client remember who they are because we don't have to keep expanding. We have to remember how profoundly amazing this collection of cells that you are that has a soul within it and the blessing that that really is. So purpose doesn't have to be flashy to be powerful. You don't want to stand on a picket line and put your voice out loud in public against a situation, or I would recommend that you go for a situation because when you go against, you feed the other side, but it's a little energy aside. But maybe you're not comfortable with that. You know what you can do? You can sit in your beautiful backyard or front yard or apartment terrace and you can send love out to the whole world. And that can be powerful. And that does have purpose. You can hold loved ones in a healing light. You can want more for your children than the judgment and racism and bias and just horrific examples of what is not love that we're seeing right now. And that can be purposeful. So ask yourself, what would it look like to be kind to myself and ask for self-acceptance in just 3% more today? You do not need to do 100%. You don't need a reinvention. Just a little bit of pumping up. So what would it look like, or how would it feel to expand 3% into self-acceptance? Pick something about yourself that your judge has been going after and on you, and look at it with love, with that, just that 3%. What would that feel like to accept yourself in that light? Hoping you'll take a breath. Because 1% is amazing. 3% is asking a lot, actually, but I know you can do it. So if you feel stuck, then you're looking for that 3% shift. Purpose, again, can be very weighted in its wording and its meaning in our language, but it doesn't have to mean perfection. It does not have to mean service to everyone beyond yourself. It can mean presence. And hey, they both start with the letter P. So let's Sesame Street this thing. Be in your presence, and you will recognize that your purpose isn't out there in the distance waiting for you to become someone else. It's already within you, inviting you to accept who you are and to enjoy being you along the way. And you are not behind. You are not broken. You are exactly who you are in this moment at this time. You have not missed the bus. You haven't screwed up. If you are here and you are sucking oxygen, you are absolutely on your path to that purpose of self-acceptance. So give it a go. What is it about yourself that you could shift just a little bit and allow that to come in? Like a couple episodes before, when I was talking about not knowing everything and feeling inadequate around that, recognizing that that would be ridiculous and not applicable for my life, taking a deep breath and saying, well, then how can I be present and purposeful with my languaging to myself and with others? And that's part of self-acceptance too, not beating yourself up for things you may have done or not done before. Okay? So you are amazing. You are wired the way you are because your soul said, that human looks fun. I really want to be that one. Send me in there, coach. I'm ready to play. So connect up with your soul that was so excited to be you and start practicing some of the self-acceptance. And if you'd like some support, I'm happy to help you. I've got a live event most months. Some months it gets shifted because of scheduling, where it's complimentary and we just get together with a certain topic. And I help you along this path of self-acceptance and love, mostly love of who you are, and then expand the intuition there, because it kind of needs you to like yourself for your intuition to work. So if something resonated with you, tag me, social media, Vicki Baird Coaching, and use the hashtag Purpose My Way. I'd love to know what lit you up, what you're connecting with, who you're connected with, and how you feel moving that needle just 3%. Just 3%. You can do it. I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If something landed, made you laugh, or gave you that nudge to look within, share this episode with someone who could use a little clarity too, please. And if you're curious about going deeper through coaching, courses, or community, you can always find me at vickibaird.com or on any of the socials at Vicki Baird Coaching. And until next time, keep trusting yourself. You've got this, and your soul is cheering you on.